Yeah, well, basically brand name THERA Nordic. The Nordic part is me.
Yeah.
So it's basically because I'm from Finland. But actually the background of why THERA was created actually dates back about 15 years ago. So it's actually, the story is way older than THERA. But why did I take on an interest on gut health or supplements anyway, was that because my ex-wife actually had a really bad reaction to antibiotic. So she was having some sort of infection and took like a normal 1 week antibiotic to it. And in the final, like the 7th day, when I went to wake her up, she was having this kind of rash starting from the hairline to toes. She was red as a crab, like a really bad looking. And it was due to the antibiotic. We didn't know it then, but we took her to hospital where she stayed in intensive care for 2 weeks. And it turned out that the antibiotic had somehow messed up with her gut. So it has really wrecked and caused what we call dysbiosis, basically messing up with the bacteria and damaging all the linings in the gut. So she was in the intensive care for 2 weeks and then in the normal care for a week and then discharged home. But the fact was that she couldn't eat anything else than banana and avocados. Everything else would cause like an allergic reaction. So, and the doctors couldn't help. And this is a thing, many people who have severe gut issues, the doctors can help only so much, and then they kind of raise their hands and say that try to get better, or that it's in your head or something like that. So
very frustrating.
It's really frustrating. And especially when people are battling with these conditions, whatever they are. So what happened there? I had no background in medical or medicine or anything, so I had to start figuring it out myself, how to help my wife. So I reached out to my doctor friends who were more advanced, more like biohacker kind of doctors. And what happened, I started to dig into the supplements and into the gut health, because we had to figure out what the thing is and how to heal it. And that's actually how I ended up finding digestive enzymes and zinc carnosine, glutamine, all these ingredients that are actually now used in THERA Nordic products. So that's basically it was a long story. It was many years, but now my ex-wife can eat anything, and the gut is much better. But the healing journey did take years. Once you go in such a bad place.
But it gave you the passion to do your research and find out what you can do to help her.
Relating to this story, because that's also why I'm fanatical about purity of the products. Because once you have a close, like a loved one who is battling these sort of gut issues, that makes them ultra sensitive to any contamination or any impurities in the products, because the gut lining is so
delicate as well.
It's delicate and it passes everything to the bloodstream, so you get allergic reactions about everything. So that's why the products we could use and the products of THERA Nordic subsequently are of the most utmost purity.
Purest grade,
that's the
that's
thing.
so important.
It's so important.
So you can trust anything that we put in our products.
Well, that's the thing, because I when we are making products, I kind of try to think the person who is critically ill, that I don't want our product to make anything worse.
Exactly.
So it has to help. And if you use low quality, cheaper ingredients, you can actually cause trouble.
Of course.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, there is a lot out there on the market.
There's a lot out. I've been in the nutritional supplements industry now 15 years. And I did actually, following this story, I did build the biggest supplement company in Scandinavia. So that's my previous company, and I got to see like a really deep dive on what kind of stuff there is in the supplement market. And
of course,
it's a wild west.
And it's really difficult for the average person to navigate around that now, isn't it? Because it is such a minefield and who to trust. And it's only because we understand ingredients that we're able to cherry pick what we put in our bodies.
Exactly.
But most people don't know what they're looking for.
No.
And it's almost criminal, I think, that these products are circulating and people are taking them with faith they're taking
and
the right
that's
thing.
one thing is that the supplement market, it's not regulated as like the medical market. So if you bring a pharmaceutical drug to the market, you need to spend millions and millions to basically have it approved. So of course pharmaceuticals, they can do bad and damage as well, but they are much more regulated. Our supplement industry is not regulated.
No.
So basically you need to just trust the brand.
Yeah. Well, that is kind of what made me want to co-found THERA Nordic UK with you, because I trusted you. I trust that you will only put the purest, finest ingredients in your products. Yeah. And that way I can sell to our customers and sleep at night, because I know that you know, they are getting the purest quality from us.
Exactly.
And that is the most important thing. And also educating our clients that supplements aren't the answer for everything. No. It has to go back to the lifestyle and the diet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which actually brings me to your background.
Yeah.
So how can you explain or tell me how did you get to now?
Yeah. So I grew up in South Africa.
Yeah.
So I had a very lovely childhood in the sun, and the diet there is very different to how it is here in the UK. So I grew up eating a lot of healthy foods, but I was quite a sick child. So I grew up on antibiotics, and I was on Ritalin, I had dyslexia, and so childhood wasn't easy for me, but my passion, even from a young age, was health. I kind of was always aware of health, and so my whole working career has been in the health and well-being space, and I've coached and worked with many clients over the years, doing nutrition plans with them. I was a personal trainer, but getting them on the right nutritional path was always key to a successful outcome. So although I did use supplements along the way to help my clients, it was always what they could do by themselves without the supplements, and the supplements are always an added extra, and it's really important that they understand that. But even in my teens, as when I was traveling, my mum always talks about me having my backpack to get on the aeroplane, and I had like 3 bikinis and the rest were supplements. The fascination with supplements has always been in the forefront of my mind. And I think a lot of my experimenting was actually done on myself. I've spent thousands, I can't even begin to think what I've spent, on testing and learning through myself, and putting myself on further education to learn more about the human body and more on nutrition. And I was always doing the next course to better myself, to understand this world more. And like I say, experimenting on yourself is probably, I've made all the mistakes myself. I've overloaded myself with supplements, and I know the dangers that come with that, and it's very taxing on the liver and things like that. So so really important that you actually get the lifestyle correct.
Exactly.
In the beginning. And then obviously I transitioned from working with my clients to working with you, and I liked your approach to making supplements. Obviously you had a very good reputation in Finland, and so when we founded THERA Nordic UK, we had one product. We had the Rescue, which is our flagship product, isn't it? And that's the one where everyone wants it in America. It's the product that changes lives.
It is,
And then together we kind of thought of these new products, and obviously the one that's just about to come out is our digestive enzyme, and that's what you were an expert in back in the day.
Could I take just a step back, because I've seen your equipment, like oxygen chambers and all this stuff. So you went all in,
All
like
in.
all in, and
in.
but I also know that it's changed a bit in
Yes.
like this like last year or something.
Yes.
So do you want to kind of shed light on your philosophy now about health?
Yeah,
It's
because
changed a
actually it's
bit.
quite damaging because, I went, as you say, dived all in, and it almost took over my life. You know, I've got every single red light device. I've got the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, the infrared sauna, an amazing gym. It just went on and on and on. All the grounding mats, and through COVID, the stress that the anxiety that I brought on with watching my children in front of a screen. I made them sit on grounding mats, that everything was grounding. They had to wear the blue light blockers. I was monitoring everything. And it took over my life. You know, I'd make them stand out on the grass no matter freezing cold or boiling hot. They had to do their grounding in the morning. And so did I. I stopped wanting to socialize with friends in the evenings because it would affect my circadian rhythm. And that's where it's not healthy. You step over that line.
It's kind of the lonely biohacker problem.
The lonely biohacker. You step over that line. And as we all know, for longevity, one of the main things we can do is have a community around us. And I was sort of losing my community because I was just so focused and paranoid. Look, COVID didn't help, but I was going down this rabbit hole anyway. And the supplements I was making my children take, and it wasn't healthy for any of us. And now I've sort of transitioned out of that, and now I'm in quite a healthy place. And I take very few supplements, and I just make sure that I am getting all my fibrous foods. I do my exercise every day, whether it's resistance training or yoga or walking, being out, getting the sunlight in my eyes in the morning. And just the simple things.
Simple things.
But I can still now go out for a meal with friends and enjoy it. And think if I get a few hours less sleep that night, it's not a problem because what I've gained from being with people, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. But let's talk about, obviously we've got somebody, overall we are going to guide them in the right direction. Some people do just want the magic pill to fix it because they don't want to make any adjustments, and there's always going to be those sort of people. But let me ask you, I'd like you to tell everyone like what all our products do. So I will start with Rescue. Who would you give Rescue to and why?
Okay, well Rescue is the flagship product. That's the main one that has been there for the longest time. So first, what Rescue is only two components. It's L-glutamine and zinc carnosine. And to make sure that they are the purest one, they are both pharmaceutical quality. You could basically inject them both and it would be safe. So they are the purest of the pure. So, and there's only two components, no flavors, nothing that could cause any reactions, basically. So, but what it does is, glutamine is more widely available, and that is an amino acid. Our body has already a lot of glutamine, so it's not an essential. You don't need to get it from the diet. You can synthesize in your body. But it's called conditionally essential. So if you are sick or having stress, then actually your own production of glutamine doesn't keep up. So then getting glutamine from outside source is a good thing. So what happens to glutamine when you ingest it? It actually is taken up by the gut. Your gut loves glutamine so much that it normally doesn't even reach the bloodstream. Basically your gut lining is using glutamine as a building block to make new gut lining. Okay. So that's the main building block, the glutamine. So that we know that that's the reason why glutamine is first choice if someone has a leaky gut, for example. So L-glutamine is a good thing. It kind of heals all the membranes from mouth to throat to stomach to the gut lining. Everything gets healed. But that's the most important ingredient in Rescue is zinc carnosine. So zinc carnosine is a combination of zinc and carnosine. They are chemically bound together. And the magic of zinc carnosine is that if there is any inflammation anywhere in the gut or in the mouth or wherever, it will find the inflamed area and stick there for about 6 hours. So basically when you drink the rescue drink, what happens, it will make a protective coat over the damaged area. And the damaged area can then heal, and the zinc actually gets delivered into the inflamed area. Because you know, if you have inflamed skin, one thing you can do is to have zinc cream. So we know that zinc is heavily anti-inflammatory. It can heal skin. But the difficult thing is if you have inflammation or damage in some part of your, let's say, small intestine, how do you apply cream there? You can't.
No.
So rescue is like this internal zinc cream. So it will go in, it will find the exact spot and be there protecting. So that's why if you take it in the morning and in the evening, you will create like a 12-hour protective window for that hurt area, and it can heal. So that's in a nutshell what rescue does.
Okay, so can you tell everyone, so who would take it, why would you take it, and if somebody has no gut issues but just wants to look after and maintain a healthy digestive tract, would you recommend it?
Yeah, so originally rescue was intended for people with stomach ulcer. So if you have a bleeding ulcer, you can take rescue, it will make it better. So that was the original intent. But what turned out is that most of our clients actually use it for heartburn. So they have acid reflux. When they take rescue, it heals all the membranes here and also calms down the heartburn. So there's no more acid reflux. So that would be the number one thing, acid reflux and heartburn. So, but the other thing would be any sort of IBS, irritated bowel, or even the inflammatory ones like colitis or Crohn's disease. So they are and diverticulitis, or anything that has inflammation or pain. So we have thousands of customers on rescue who are just reporting in all kinds of gut issues, and they are
bleeding.
Like this is maybe the biggest thing. If you have a colitis, that's basically bleeding, and you can witness that every time you go to the toilet. So in average 2.5 weeks of 2 times a day rescue, it stops the bleeding. So that's really effective.
So that is our major flagship product. Because
and rescue is a unique product in the whole world. There is none other like it.
No, we're very proud of that product. Let's move on to our next product, just because you mentioned it before we talk about the others, and tell us about Healthy Bowel.
Healthy Bowel, yeah. Well, actually on all of our products, all the others are in a way used when needed. It's like they are more like helping you with something. But the Healthy Bowel, or the Daily Healthy Bowel, is the only product that we recommend to everyone every day from here on. So what the Daily Healthy Bowel is it is a proprietary fiber blend, mostly of soluble fibers. That's what it does. It gives your gut bacteria the raw materials that they want. So basically, because we are a host for an entire ecosystem of bacteria in the gut, so we are in symbiosis with the gut. So, and it can only thrive based on what we eat. So, for example, why to eat vegetables? Why to have fiber? You don't yourself get that much of the fiber, like of the vegetables, but it's food for your bacteria. They use it, they digest it. They thrive on it. And the right kind of bacteria thrive on it. And what they give you in return is something we call short chain fatty acids. So short chain fatty acids are like one people might have heard is like butyrate, for example. So in butyrate and the other short chain fatty acids, they are like repairing blocks for the gut. So they have a really profound healing and protecting effect on the gut lining. So that's the natural way it's supposed to be happening. So that's the way you eat the fiber, and the bacteria thank you by giving you back these compounds. So now back to the Healthy Bowel. That's basically like a concentrated form of this gut bacteria food. So you take it, and then your own microbiome will basically heal the gut. But also, to kind of raise one detail of the product, there is ingredient called actazine, which is a kiwi extract.
Yeah.
And the kiwi one, besides it will also increase all this good bacteria count, but it also make you more regular. So it helps with the regularity as well.
Really important.
Really important.
Yeah.
Kind of, if you get blocked up, that's many times a starting point of many problems.
Yeah.
So daily healthy bowel, feed your gut, so they thank you by giving you the protective compounds and also make you regular. So that is something that
so
should
that's
be
your go-to product every day to keep you healthy, keep you regular.
It's exactly easy to use, tastes good.
Sure. And, nice. Okay. So I would like now to talk about my favorite supplement. So like I said, when I was explaining about me growing up in South Africa, and I was quite a sick child, and I was given antibiotics, you know, they just used to give them out like sweets, antibiotics in the 80s. And so I grew up taking antibiotics, and I do believe that that's what damaged my gut all my life, you know, all my life. And actually, back in the days when I was taking so many supplements, I wasn't doing it any favors. But this one particular product, which we're going to talk about now, it's triple HCl. And this product absolutely changed my life. So every time I ate, depending on what it was, I would get bloating, swelling, and you know, there was this healthy person living this healthy life because I do eat healthily, but I was still getting this bloating and discomfort every time I ate. And so HCl, absolute game changer for me. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the triple HCl, that's an interesting thing because it is hydrochloric acid. So it basically makes your own hydrochloric acid that you need in the stomach. It makes it stronger. So, and actually many people think that when they have acid reflux or heartburn, that's because they have too much of stomach acid. 9 times out of 10 people who have acid reflux, they have too low stomach acid. And actually there's too low of the stomach acid that will cause the valve we have here, like preventing the backflow. It causes the valve to be it's not anymore so tight. So it's kind of supposed to be tight to prevent the reflux. But if you have too low level of HCl, it can let some stuff back, then it will burn. But it's not the whole thing. If you have low stomach acid, you cannot digest the food well, because the stomach acid, it of course kills the bacteria from the food you don't want into your gut, but it will also transform many of the minerals and vitamins, including zinc and iron and B12, into a form.
So you're absorbing your nutrients.
Exactly. If you are using like PPI medication or antacids that dilute or stop your stomach acid, you can, for example, get osteoporosis because you are not absorbing the minerals and vitamins as you should. But that's one aspect of the like HCl. If you increase the HCl, you make the whole process stronger. So it can actually affect the whole thing. Even constipation can benefit from increasing the HCl. So
I clearly had low stomach acids. So,
and that's more prevalent than we think. Even young people have it. So, but with the triple HCl, so there is HCl, and then there is this enzyme called pepsin. So our stomach also secretes pepsin, but it secretes that as a pepsin is a protein digesting enzyme. So any meat or any other protein, it gets digested in the stomach by pepsin. So it takes the protein apart into amino acids. So, but the pepsin, our stomach doesn't secrete pepsin as pepsin, but it's called pepsinogen. So it's like a pre-form of pepsin, and stomach acid has to cleave a part of it away, so the pepsinogen transforms into pepsin. So if you have low stomach acid levels, actually the enzyme doesn't get to work. So like you need more HCl basically. So, but our triple HCl has the pepsin as well. So it kind of it gives you more HCl and pepsin. And the third one it has, why the name is triple HCl, is the triple one, it has the yellow gentian root, which is the most bitter herb there is. And somebody might have heard that natural bitters are actually the ancient way of like a digestive tonic. So what the bitters do, they actually stimulate our own stomach acid production as well, but also stimulate our bile production. So normally the bile flow is
crucial,
super important.
Of course.
So when the food goes, it's super acidic. The pH is like 2. When it goes from stomach to the duodenum and in the small intestine, then our liver basically secretes bile into that food, and the pH sharply goes to some like 7.58. And then the fats and all the fats will be absorbed there, and all the rest of the digestion happens. So if you have low stomach acid, you will have a low output of bile as well. But if you have a high stomach acid output, then the bile output will be higher too. So, but in our triple HCl, the gentian root, the yellow gentian root, that will actually stimulate the bile as well. So it will make the whole process stronger. And that's why it can help with the bloating, it can help with the indigestion, or even with constipation.
Definitely. So that brings me kind of onto 2 questions, but one being the feedback that we occasionally get from digestive enzymes, which I'm going to move on to in a second, and the HCl is like, it's making me hungrier. It's putting me off taking it because I'm getting hungry. So for obvious reasons it's making us hungry, but do you want to explain why that is?
Well, it might have been that your body has been starving, and now it's getting the nutrients and it's asking for more. So many times we don't actually need the calories so much. We need the nutrients, like the vitamins and the minerals and all these micronutrients.
And suddenly your digestion's working, right? So
it's asking like more of this.
I was absolutely starving when I first started. And I actually had a customer message us on Instagram the other day saying, I love this product, it's changed my life, but I'm really hungry. And I had to say, just bear with it, because I was really hungry too. And then it does subside. Now I can take it without hunger, but obviously, clearly, to begin with.
And like all of our products, and every time you take a real high quality gut supplement, it has the potential of normalizing your weight. So people who have too much, like let's say skinny fat, like too much fat and too little muscle, that ratio can start to shift. You start actually building muscle and losing the fat. But also some people who are too skinny and they just cannot absorb anything, they will actually start getting healthy weight.
Well, and that's interesting that you say that, because actually, because I do train a lot, I do actually have quite a high percentage of muscle mass, but I did notice I went up a couple of notches when I took the HCl. And I know you speak of a guy that you knew in the gym, and you saw him a few months later after taking HCl, and his body composition had completely changed.
Actually, it took a couple of years, but still, I mean, he was training all the time, and he was still like this very lean and but still.
But it makes sense if you're not absorbing.
I saw him like 2 years later.
Your protein is just going straight through you.
Through you, exactly.
And you've got to imagine it. I think how I describe it to people is that the reason why I'm not getting the gas and bloating is because the food is digested. By the time it does sort of move down the digestive tract, it's digested food rather than undigested food, which is going to cause.
And let's say you eat meat. So if the meat is not broken down, like the protein there, if it's not broken down into peptides and into amino acids, and it gets into the large intestine as meat or as protein, it will increase the wrong type of bacteria that will ferment. It will start fermenting.
Of course.
So it has to be broken down into amino acids and digested before it gets into the large intestine.
Of course.
So that's one reason.
And these gym guys, let's be honest, they're eating a lot of protein.
They are.
So a lot of undigested protein is not going to be good.
No,
and you see them with bad skin and joint problems and everything else.
And that's one reason why there are results like a lot of meat, eating a lot of meat could cause like cancer.
Yeah.
It's probably most likely the undigested one that increases the bad bacteria, which in turn can be harmful. Yeah. But if you really digest your food, there is no harm.
But actually talking, I know we're off this product, but talking about going to the gym that I go to, I actually put a lot of the guys there who overtrain on the rescue, because that's very invasive on the gut lining, isn't it? It does cause aggravation.
Like overtraining?
Yes, overtraining. Yeah. So people need to, I have put quite a few of them who all suffer with digestive issues on the rescue to heal, because they're not letting their body rest even for 24 hours, these guys, you know.
Actually heavy training causes leaky gut naturally.
Exactly.
But that's not pathological. It's something like your body just responds into heavy training. Yeah. But that's the reason you should let it rest.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. You must always have those rest days, because it does aggravate.
Indeed.
Okay, so our next product that I want you to explain is digestive enzyme, and I want you to really explain to people, because this is quite confusing, like why would I take digestive enzyme over, or optimized enzymes as we've called ours, over the HCl. I personally, for me, I stick with the HCl, but if I'm going to have a steak or something heavy bit of meat, I will add the digestive enzyme, our optimized enzyme, on top of that.
So our optimized enzyme is like the advanced formula. I've been the fan of enzymes for 15 years, because that's how I started in the gut health journey. Like I love enzymes, and optimized enzyme is a really advanced formula. But if you don't have stomach acid, if you don't have the HCl, no amount of enzymes will help you.
Of course. And that was my problem. Everyone was raving about digestive enzymes back in the day, and I just didn't get it. And I tried all of them. I tried the big guys, the most expensive ones, and nothing happened. So
that's exactly how it goes. And many people get benefit from enzymes. But in case you don't, then it's time to look at the HCl. So enzymes...
And you can combine the two, can't you?
You can combine both of them. And because enzymes work instantly. They either work or they don't work. So, and if they don't work, then try HCl. So basically I would go in with the enzymes and then probably add the HCl. Me too, I will have them side by side. If I'm gonna eat like a pizza or something that I know it's gonna stress the system, I could take both. So basically just clear that out, that without enough hydrochloric acid in the stomach, the enzymes, they don't work. But given that you have enough HCl in your system, then we come to the digestive enzymes. And they are wonderful.
So tell us about our special optimized enzymes.
So optimized enzymes has two functions. You can take it with food or without food. So it will help you in both cases. But with food, so I will just dive down a bit on the digestion, how it works. So first, like, we have enzymes in the mouth, we have enzymes in the stomach and in the small intestine. Like different things happen in different areas of the body. So first, in our saliva, there is amylase enzyme, which breaks carbohydrates into sugars. We cannot actually digest carbohydrates, but we can digest sugars. So if you have undigested carbohydrates, you will get gas and bloating and everything, but if you digest all the carbohydrates, you won't get problems. So mouth, it starts in the mouth, so that's why you need to chew properly to mix it with amylase and in the saliva. So,
and most people don't chew properly.
No.
We sit down while we're looking at the screen, pushing our lunch in, and not even thinking about it.
And actually what happens also, like just a mechanic, like if you are chewing, like when your muscles do the chewing motion, it stimulates the vagus nerve and gives a signal to the stomach, hey, there's food coming, start to produce HCl. So if you just like gulp it in, your stomach is like, what happened?
You're not getting any messages,
no, we're not
just
getting
arrives.
Exactly. So properly chewing actually makes your stomach wait for the food and get ready. So when the food gets into the stomach, your stomach secretes HCl and pepsin. And that's meant to digest the proteins and kill the bacteria and make the food ready for the rest of the digestion. So in the mouth there is amylase, and then in the stomach there is pepsin. So pepsin digests the proteins from peptides and amino acids. And only amino acids you can actually absorb. So then it continues to the small intestine. There your liver releases the bile acids on it. So it neutralizes the very acid stomach content and it makes it alkaline. And there these are amylases, proteases and lipases. So 3 different enzymes that digest the starches to sugars and carbohydrates to sugars, protein to amino acids, and fats to fatty acids. So we can only absorb sugars, amino acids, and fatty acids, basically. So, and enzymes do all this work, that they are taking apart all these nutrients. So basically, any kind of digestive problem somehow is traceable back to enzymes. So if something doesn't work, then there either is not enough enzymes or something is blocking what they're doing. So that's mainly the thing. So optimized enzymes here, it has a blend of enzymes that work in all the pHs, like in the very acid environment of the stomach, in the very alkaline environment of the small intestine, and even the different alkaline environment in the large intestine. So if you take the capsule with food, it will attack the food and start digesting it in the stomach, will continue supporting your digestion in the small intestine and even in the large intestine. So every capsule you take of optimized enzyme will work like from 14 to 36 hours. So the whole time it's in your system. And it helps to mitigate any kind of digestive symptoms, because
you're pretty passionate about the enzymes.
I am.
Yeah, that's nice.
And so that's really really big one, and you can how is it used? It's you take it with any meal you need support for. So it's not like take one a day. But instead it's you can take it once a day, 3 times a day, or how many?
Take it before bed for a bit of a detox effect.
So we come to the second use of optimized enzymes. So if you are taking optimized enzymes in empty stomach at night, so what happens, because the enzyme doesn't meet any food in there, so actually your system selects proteases, the protein digestive enzymes, especially the bromelain, which is from pineapple. And it gets transported in the bloodstream, and it starts to work systemically. So it does the same breaking down activity as it does on the food, but it does break down like dead tissue, dead cells, even scar tissue. And it can help with if there are these so-called circulating immune complexes in the blood and in the tissues that are normally necessary, but if you have too much of circulating immune complexes, they can get deposited in this tissue and cause autoimmune kind of reactions. So if you take like bromelain or other strong proteases into empty stomach, your body can use them to digest the immune complexes and calm down the whole system.
So I know you spoke about healthy bowel being like your everyday, but surely the digestive enzyme should be something that kind of people always have in the cupboard too.
That's actually something that would be beneficial for everyone to have with them all the time. Because HCl is a thing that you might already have enough HCl, so it doesn't make sense to take more. But with optimized enzymes, you actually do yourself a favor having it, especially on larger meals. And then a couple of nights a week, just before bed to keep just to help detox internally. There's a process called autophagy. That's like this internal cleaning system. If you go into a fast, for example, you start to ramp up your autophagy which only means that your own body cells will, because they don't have food, they will turn and look, okay, is there like something old, unnecessary material here that we can digest and reuse? Munch up and eat. So especially the bromelain enzyme in our diet optimize enzyme is known to increase autophagy. So basically you don't have to fast necessarily, but if you take the optimized enzyme, you will actually ramp up the autophagy. So the cleanup system.
It's pretty attractive to do that, really, for us, you know, to ramp anything that speeds up that process.
Indeed.
So for me, that's another non-negotiable product. I believe these should all be in the cupboard. And dip in and out, but like you say, healthy bowel is kind of your everyday. But the other one that I also wouldn't be without, I do not take every day, but I will always take it traveling with me, and it'll always be in the cupboard, and that is Move. Because you get on an aeroplane, you get constipated. There's always things through our lives, through the weeks, the months, stress that brings on constipation. So I think it's one that if you've got in the cupboard, you can reach and always put it in your bag if you're traveling. That's my, but tell us how Move works and what you think about it.
Move. It's the one product that you use occasionally when you need. So, and it has a couple of functions, but basically the thing is to give you regularity when you need it. There are twofold. One, there is two different forms of magnesium in there. So there is magnesium hydroxide and magnesium oxide. These are two salts of magnesium that are actually very poorly absorbed. So you don't really get magnesium out of them, but instead when they go into your digestive tract, what happens is they draw water content, they increase the water content inside your large intestine. So basically if you have like hydrating the stool, so if there's like compacted matter in there, it's probably too dry.
Of course.
So, and actually that's, by the way, one first things in constipation, drink more. Just like 1 liter more, and then you see what happens. But if it doesn't, if that is not enough, then the magnesiums will draw in more water and making it easier to move. But the actual thing in the product is we have a rhubarb root extract, which is actually, we borrowed that from Chinese medicine. It's already like 2,000-year-old remedy in China for constipation and all sorts of digestive issues. But what the rhubarb root has in there is this one, it's called anthraquinones. It's a class of cathartic agents. So what it means, it will make the muscles of the large intestine contract more. So basically it restarts the pump in a way. So first you moisturize the content and then you reignite the pump basically. So it makes the stuff move. But the rhubarb root, it's not just something that moves the stool along. It's also very protective for the gut lining. So for example, if there is leaky gut, the rhubarb root actually prevents leaky gut. And
as we know, laxatives are very damaging for the gut. So this is a nice, natural, gentle, soothing way to get the job done.
So normally if you have a laxative, it can be kind of a little violent event. But in this product, in Move, there is the magnesium and there is the soothing effect as well. So it does help with regularity, but it also protects the gut.
And what's quite important here is that everyone kind of needs different amounts of capsules. So I've figured out what's my perfect amount. So it's anything from sort of 3 to 6 capsules. And what we do find is you don't wake up and urgently need to go. It's sort of later on in the morning. So sometimes people think, oh, it doesn't work. But then it's just a gentle movement, unless you overdo the capsules, obviously. Later in the morning. There's no urgency if you're dosing it correctly.
2 other things for constipation overall, if you're taking Move, then drinking more and also, if possible, exercising a bit.
Exercise, always. Nice. Okay, well, Nice chatting to you.
Yeah, thanks. It's been nice.
Yeah.